How many of you have ever been so close to giving up that you almost convinced yourself your dream wasn't meant for you? You told yourself, maybe it's not my time. You started to believe the world's lies, that you're not good enough, that you're too late, that life is unfair. But deep down, deep in your heart, you know that's not true, because the dream inside you isn't random. It's a calling. You didn't imagine it. You were chosen for it. And the very fact that you're here listening right now means you haven't given up yet. Life doesn't test the weak. It tests the worthy. And if you've been tested lately, that means something inside you is being prepared for something bigger. See, the world isn't waiting for another excuse. It's waiting for your example. So before you even think about walking away from that dream, from that fire burning inside your chest, I want you to stay with me for the next few minutes. Because by the end of this speech, you're going to remember exactly why you started. You're going to remember who you are, and you'll realize the dream you're chasing has been chasing you all along. Don't give up now. Your future self is begging you to finish this fight. You see, every great achievement, every breakthrough began with someone who saw it before the world believed it. That's the power of vision. Most people wait until they can see it before they believe it. But those who truly make their dreams real, they believe it until they see it. You have to understand, everything you want already exists in potential. The money, the success, the peace, the freedom, it's all out there. But it only becomes yours when you see it here first, in your mind, in your emotions, in your spirit. Because the universe doesn't respond to what you want, it responds to what you believe. Think about it. Every skyscraper you've ever seen, every song that moved your soul, every business that changed lives, they all began as invisible thoughts in someone's imagination. Someone dared to close their eyes and see something that wasn't there yet. And while everyone else called them crazy, unrealistic, or foolish, they stayed loyal to their vision. Your dream will demand that kind of loyalty. It will test you to see if you truly want it, or if you only want it when it's easy. Because it's easy to dream when things are going right. It's easy to believe when the doors are opening. But the real test, the moment that separates dreamers from doers, comes when nothing seems to be working. When you've given your all and still feel like you're standing still. That's when vision matters most. Because vision isn't about what you see in front of you. It's about what you decide to see despite what's in front of you. It's faith in motion. It's believing that even when the world says, not yet, your heart whispers, keep going. I want you to picture this. You plant a seed in the ground. For weeks, nothing happens. You water it, you care for it, you protect it, and still nothing. But what you don't see is the miracle happening beneath the soil. Roots are forming, strength is building, growth is preparing. If you quit watering it, you'll never see the bloom that was already on its way. That's your dream. Just because you can't see progress doesn't mean it's not growing. Just because others don't see it doesn't mean it's not real. The vision was given to you, not them. So don't expect everyone to understand it. They weren't supposed to. The question is, can you hold the picture in your mind when reality shows you the opposite? Can you keep seeing the mountaintop when you're still in the valley? Because that's where most people give up. They trade their future for comfort. They let go of their dream because the path didn't unfold the way they planned. But here's the truth, your dream is never denied. It's only delayed until you become the person capable of holding it. The delay is not a punishment, it's preparation. The time it's taking is building the strength you'll need to carry what you asked for. So stop cursing the waiting season. Start using it. Start seeing yourself as the person who's already living that dream. Act like it, talk like it, think like it. That's not pretending, that's alignment. Every day, take a few moments to close your eyes and visualize your dream as if it's already happening. Feel the emotion, hear the sounds, taste the victory. Your brain doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality, so make that vision real in your body first, and your world will start to rearrange to match it. You can't hit a target you can't see, and you can't live a life you don't believe you deserve. That's why vision is more than motivation, it's direction. It gives meaning to the pain, purpose to the struggle, and strength to keep going when the world tells you to stop. And let me tell you something, there will be days when you'll doubt yourself, days when it feels like the dream is slipping away. That's when you remind yourself, this is not the end. This is the building stage. Because once you decide to hold on to your vision, no matter what, something shifts inside you, your energy changes, your standards rise. You stop chasing approval and start chasing purpose. And when that happens, when you lock into that vision so powerfully that quitting is no longer an option, you become unstoppable. Because now your dream isn't just something you wish for, it's something you are. So if you've lost sight of your dream, it's time to reclaim it. If you've forgotten the picture, paint it again. If you've buried it under doubt, dig it back up. Because the dream didn't die, it's waiting for you to believe again. Remember, the vision always comes before the victory. Pain, nobody wants it, yet everyone faces it. It's the one experience that connects us all, no matter where you come from, no matter what you dream of. But here's the truth most people never realize. Pain isn't the opposite of purpose. It's the pathway to it. Every great dream demands a price. And that price is usually paid in discomfort, in discipline, and in moments that make you question everything you thought you wanted. When you chase something big, something that matters, life will push back. It will test your patience, your faith, your confidence. It will ask, how bad do you really want this? And the moment you start to doubt yourself, when things get hard, that's when most people give up. They think pain means stop. They think struggle means wrong path, but that's not true. Pain is not the signal to quit. It's the signal that you're growing. You can't build strength without resistance. You can't expand your life without being stretched. Think about it. If everything came easy, how would you ever develop power? How would you ever build belief in yourself? It's through pain that you uncover who you really are, not who you pretend to be when life feels good, but who you become when life hits hard. Every champion you admire, every story that inspires you was built through pain. The athlete who trains before sunrise, the artist who spends years perfecting their craft, the entrepreneur who risks everything, they've all faced moments where quitting seemed logical, maybe even smart. But they understood something most people don't. Pain is temporary, but purpose is permanent. Pain will end. The exhaustion fades. The heartbreak heals. The rejection loses its sting. But the person you become by enduring it, that version of you stays forever. Purpose is what outlasts the pain. It's what makes the struggle meaningful. When you're in pain, it's easy to focus on what's being taken from you. Your comfort, your security, your certainty. But what if pain isn't taking from you? What if it's given to you? What if it's carving out the space inside you for something greater to fit? You can't pour new strength into an old identity. Pain breaks the shell of who you were so you can become who you're meant to be. I've met so many people who run from pain. They numb it, hide from it, distract themselves with noise. But the problem with running from pain is that you also run from growth. You run from the very experience that could set you free. You've got to learn to lean in, to sit with it, to ask, what is this trying to teach me? Because pain is always a teacher if you're willing to listen. When everything falls apart, when nothing goes your way, when the door slams shut in your face, that's not punishment. That's direction. It's life moving you closer to your real path, not away from it. Sometimes rejection is redirection. Sometimes the breakdown is the breakthrough in disguise. You can't see it in the moment because you're in the storm, but once you get through it, you'll look back and say, that was the best thing that ever happened to me. Think back on your life, the most painful moments. Didn't they also lead to your greatest strength? The heartbreak that made you wiser, the failure that forced you to change, the setback that sparked a new beginning. That's not coincidence. That's the blueprint of transformation. And I know when you're in it, it doesn't feel that way. Pain doesn't whisper. It screams. It tells you to stop. It makes you question if it's worth it. It makes you wonder if maybe your dream isn't meant for you after all. But I promise you, that's the exact moment you have to push through. Because on the other side of that pain is something extraordinary, something only those who don't quit ever get to experience. You see, most people quit not because they're weak, but because they misunderstand the process. They think pain means failure, but pain is the bridge. You can't skip it. You can't avoid it. You walk through it, and on the other side, you find purpose, the kind that doesn't depend on applause or validation. The kind that burns quietly inside you and keeps you going long after the motivation fades. You'll never hear your purpose in comfort. Comfort is silent. Pain speaks. It breaks down your ego. It shatters your limits. It clears away everything that doesn't belong, so only truth remains. And that truth is your purpose. So when life hurts, when you feel like you can't take one more step, I want you to remember this pain is temporary. It will not last. But if you quit, if you surrender your dream because it's hard, that decision could last a lifetime. You might forget the pain, but you'll never forget the regret of walking away from what you were meant to do. Don't give up. Endure it. Embrace it. Let the pain shape you, not stop you. Let it burn away your doubt, your fear, your hesitation, because once the pain passes, and it will, what's left is strength, clarity, and the unshakable knowing that you are always capable. Pain doesn't mean it's over. It means you're on your way. Motivation is powerful, but it's not enough. It's like a spark. It ignites you. It makes you feel alive. It gives you that burst of energy that says, I can do this. But here's the truth that separates the dreamers from the doors. Motivation fades. It doesn't last. And if your entire future depends on whether or not you feel like it today, you'll never reach the life you're capable of living. We've all had those moments where motivation hits us like lightning. Maybe it's after a powerful talk, a song, a quote, or a video. You get fired up. You say, that's it, I'm changing my life, I'm going all in. And then 2 days later, you wake up tired, the excitement's gone, the doubts start whispering, and you think, maybe tomorrow. That's the cycle most people live in, the roller coaster of motivation, up one day, down the next. Fired up at night, burned out by morning. The truth is, success isn't built on how you feel. It's built on what you do, especially when you don't feel like doing it. That's where discipline comes in. Discipline is the difference between people who wish for a better life and people who create one. Motivation is the spark, but discipline is the fire that keeps burning long after the excitement dies. Discipline doesn't care about your mood. It doesn't care if it's raining, if you're tired, if you've failed 3 times already. Discipline shows up no matter what. It says, I made a decision and I'm keeping it. It's about keeping the promise you made to yourself long after the feeling that made you make it has disappeared. Every successful person you've ever admired built their life on discipline. The athlete who trains when no one's watching. The writer who keeps typing when the words don't flow. The business owner who keeps calling when everyone else has stopped. They all understand one thing. You don't rise to the level of your motivation. You fall to the level of your discipline. You can't wait for the perfect moment to act. You can't wait for inspiration to strike. You create momentum by doing, not by waiting. Once you take action, even small, consistent action, your brain starts to shift. The very act of doing builds the energy that motivation can't sustain. And that's how winners are made. They don't chase motivation, they build habits. Habits are the secret weapon. When you train your mind and body to do something automatically without negotiation, that's power. Because the hardest part isn't doing the thing. It's deciding whether or not to do it. Discipline removes that decision. It says, this is who I am now. And once something becomes identity, you no longer have to force it. You just live it. There's a reason why people who seem unstoppable aren't necessarily more talented. They're simply more consistent. They don't rely on emotion. They rely on structure. They know exactly what needs to be done, and they do it whether it's convenient or not. That's the mindset that transforms a goal into a lifestyle. Think about your own dreams. There's probably something you've wanted for a long time, a body you want to build, a business you want to grow, a skill you want to master. Ask yourself honestly, how many times have you started and stopped? How many times have you promised yourself you'd do it, only to give in when the excitement faded? You weren't weak. You were just relying on the wrong fuel. You were counting on motivation instead of building discipline. Discipline is the foundation of freedom. Most people think discipline means restriction, that it limits you. But the truth is, it's the opposite. When you're disciplined, you're free from laziness, free from procrastination, free from guilt. You no longer live in that space where you say, I should have, or I wish I had. You act, you follow through, and that creates confidence. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you build trust within, you start to believe in you again. And that belief, that's power. Because once you trust yourself, you stop waiting for permission. You stop depending on others to push you. You become your own source of drive. But discipline isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. And the way you build it is by doing small things consistently. Start with one area of your life. Something simple. Wake up when you say you will. Work out for 10 minutes even when you don't feel like it. Read one chapter a day. Keep doing it day after day, repetition after repetition until it becomes who you are. Then raise your standard again, because success isn't one giant leap. It's hundreds of small, disciplined steps in the same direction. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be consistent. Some days you'll fall short. Some days you'll feel lost. That's okay. Discipline isn't about never failing. It's about getting back up faster every time you do. It's about knowing that every moment you choose action over excuse, you're strengthening your future. At the end of the day, motivation will make you feel good, but discipline will make you great. Motivation will start the race, but discipline will get you across the finish line. And when you reach that point, when you look back and realize you built it all not because you felt like it, but because you decided to do it, that's when you'll understand real power. Because in the end, it's not about how inspired you are. It's about how committed you are when the inspiration fades. Fear. It's the one emotion that every single human being understands. It's that tightening in your chest, that hesitation before you step forward, that whisper that says, what if I fail? What if I'm not enough? Fear is natural. It's part of being alive. But here's the thing. Fear was never meant to stop you. It was meant to sharpen you. Most people misunderstand fear. They think it's a sign that they should back away. They think fear means danger, so they retreat. But fear isn't always a signal to run. Sometimes it's a signal that you're standing right on the edge of something extraordinary. You feel fear not because you're weak, but because you're about to cross a line that most people never dare to cross. Every dream worth chasing will bring fear with it. That's how you know you're moving toward growth. If it doesn't scare you a little, it's not big enough. The people who achieve great things don't live without fear. They've just learned to move through it. They've trained themselves to feel the fear and act anyway. Because courage isn't the absence of fear, it's mastery over it. When fear shows up, it's usually because you're stepping into the unknown. The human brain is wired to protect you. It loves certainty, routine, safety. It's built to keep you alive, not fulfilled. So the moment you try to stretch beyond what's comfortable, your mind starts creating stories. You might fail, people might laugh, you might get hurt. That's not truth, that's conditioning. Your brain is trying to pull you back to what's familiar because familiar feels safe. But safe doesn't change your life. The life you're dreaming about lives on the other side of fear. It's behind that moment when you want to turn back, when you feel that resistance tightening in your stomach. That's where your breakthrough is hiding. Fear and growth are two sides of the same coin. The moment you stop running from fear and start listening to it, everything shifts because fear is energy. You can use it to paralyze you or you can use it to fuel you. When you feel fear, that's not a stop sign. That's life saying, this matters to you. Think about it. You don't feel fear about things that mean nothing. You feel it when something important is on the line. Your dream, your love, your purpose. Fear points to the areas where your greatest potential lives. It's your internal compass showing you where to grow next. The question is, what do you do with that fear? Most people fight it or flee from it. But what if you could turn fear into focus? What if Instead of letting it distract you, you let it drive you. That's what the greats do. They feel the same fear, but instead of shrinking, they channel it, they breathe through it. They ask themselves, what am I really afraid of? And what would happen if I moved anyway? That simple question turns fear from a wall into a doorway. Fear loses its power the moment you face it directly. It thrives in avoidance. The more you run, the stronger it gets. But when you stop and confront it, when you look it in the eyes, you realize it was never as big as it seemed. Most of the fear we carry isn't about real danger. It's about imagined failure. It's not that something bad will happen. It's that we're afraid we won't be able to handle it if it does. But here's the truth. You've already survived every hard day you thought would break you. You are stronger than you think. You've been through pain, setbacks, and loss, and you're still standing. So what makes you think you won't be able to handle the next challenge? Fear will always be there, but you decide how loud it gets to be. You can let it take the microphone, or you can turn down the volume and keep walking. The power was never in fear's hands. It's always been in yours. I've seen people let fear steal their future. They let one what if destroy a lifetime of potential. What if I fail? But what if you fly? What if they laugh? But what if they applaud? What if it doesn't work? But what if it changes everything? You can spend your life running from fear or spend your life proving it wrong. You can't eliminate fear, but you can redefine it. You can decide that fear means go. That when it shows up, it's a signal that you're alive, that you're growing, that you're stretching into a new version of yourself. And when you start living that way, when you no longer let fear dictate your decisions, you become unstoppable because now nothing can control you. Not doubt, not failure, not uncertainty. Remember, fear doesn't mean you're not ready. Fear means you're human, but it's your choice what to do with that feeling. You can let it freeze you or you can let it focus you. You can let it remind you that your dream is worth the risk. And every time you face it, every time you move through it, you reclaim a piece of your power. So the next time fear whispers in your ear, telling you to step back, take one more step forward instead. Let that trembling be the proof that you're alive, that you're moving, that you're growing. Because fear doesn't mean stop. It means you're closer than ever. Let's talk about the people around you because your dream isn't just shaped by what you do. It's shaped by who you let into your life. The energy you allow, the voices you hear, the beliefs you absorb, these all become the environment in which your dream either grows or dies. Most people underestimate this. They think talent, luck, or effort alone will carry them. But the truth is, no one achieves greatness in isolation. The people you surround yourself with either lift you or hold you back, and the choice is yours. Every successful person you admire has one thing in common. They protect their environment fiercely. They know that negativity is contagious. Doubt spreads faster than confidence. Excuses multiply like wildfire. And if you let the wrong voices dominate your life, they will bury your dream before you even get a chance to chase it. Think about your own life for a moment. Who do you spend the most time with? Are these people the ones who inspire you, who challenge you to become better, who remind you of your potential? Or are they the ones who drain your energy, make you question yourself, subtly sabotage your ambition without even realizing it? Most of us carry around people who were never meant to travel the path we're walking. And that's fine. Everyone has a season in your life. But you have to recognize when it's time to step into a new season, a season where your growth isn't optional. It's not about being arrogant or shutting people out. It's about alignment. Your dream is too important to let small minds or fearful voices dictate your choices. There will always be people who say you can't do that, or that's too risky, or it's never going to work. Listen politely if you want, but don't absorb it as truth. Their limitations are not yours. Their fear does not define your courage. Surrounding yourself with growth means being intentional about your relationships. It means seeking people who lift you, who see your vision when you're doubting it yourself, who challenge you to expand your thinking and step into your power. It's about being with people who remind you that your dream is possible even when the road looks impossible. And when you can't find those people yet, it means learning to stand alone without letting loneliness become a weakness. Because standing alone is not failure, it's preparation. It's the moment when you decide your dream is bigger than the opinions of anyone else. Most people fear isolation, so they tolerate negativity. They cling to comfort, familiarity, and history instead of choosing growth. But here's the reality. A single year with the wrong people will do more damage than a decade of hard work can repair. The wrong energy will wear you down, make you question yourself, and steal your fire. Protect yourself. Protect your dream. Protect the sacred space around your mind, your time, and your heart. At the same time, choose mentors, coaches, and allies who have walked the path before you. Find those whose presence ignites ambition, not doubt. Learn from those whose energy inspires action, not excuses. Immerse yourself in environments that expand your thinking, not restrict it. The more you feed your mind with people who believe in possibility, the more your own belief strengthens. And remember, it's not just about avoiding negative influences, it's about cultivating positive ones. Engage with people who push you to be better, who expect more from you, who celebrate your wins and hold you accountable in your losses. Surround yourself with people who bring out the best version of you, not the tired, doubtful version. That energy will ripple through every choice you make, every challenge you face, every risk you take. There will be moments when you have to make hard decisions about relationships. People you love might not understand your vision. They might not agree with the direction you're heading. And sometimes Love is not enough to keep someone in your inner circle. That doesn't make you heartless. It makes you wise. Protecting your dream sometimes requires saying no, stepping back, or walking away. It's not about cutting people off. It's about creating space for your growth. Your environment is a reflection of what you allow into your life. If you let negativity, fear, and doubt dominate, your dream will struggle to breathe. But if you choose growth, encouragement, and relentless support, you'll find your energy multiplies. Your confidence strengthens, your resilience expands, and you start moving faster than ever before, surrounded by people who make you better without asking you to compromise who you are. The people around you either add to your momentum or subtract from it. The choice is yours every day. Protect your space, protect your energy, protect your dream. And when you do, you'll realize that the path forward becomes not just possible, but inevitable. Choose your circle wisely, because the wrong people can slow you down, but the right people will accelerate everything. Let's talk about the moment most people quit, because that's exactly where your breakthrough is hiding. Most people give up right before the miracle happens. They've pushed through pain. They've stayed disciplined, they've faced fear, and they've protected their vision. But when things still don't seem to be working, they stop. They look around and say, this is too hard. Maybe it's not meant for me. And that's exactly the moment they're supposed to push harder. That's the moment the universe tests whether you really want it. That's the moment your breakthrough is closer than you think. Here's the truth. Success is rarely a straight line. It doesn't happen in one giant leap. It comes in moments and choices and the relentless refusal to quit. Most people give up because they expect results immediately. They expect the world to reward effort the moment they show up, but life doesn't work that way. Life tests you, it stretches you, it delays you sometimes for weeks, months, even years to prepare you for what you're asking for. And if you quit too soon, all that preparation goes to waste. You have to understand that your dream is not going to come to you on a silver platter. It's not going to walk up and knock on your door. Your breakthrough comes when you persist, when you refuse to stop, when you act as though the impossible is inevitable. It comes when you show up every day, even when no one is watching, even when the excitement has faded, even when the world seems against you. Because those who endure long enough will always reach the other side. Every story of triumph has the same pattern. It looks hopeless at the moment before victory. The person everyone admires seemed like they had it all figured out, but the reality is they were on the edge of quitting when everything changed. That's why persistence is the secret weapon. The breakthrough is always closer than you think, but it requires that you keep going even when it doesn't make sense, even when it hurts, even when you can't see the finish line. You might feel like you're running out of time, like everyone else is ahead, like the world is passing you by. That's exactly when you have to dig deeper. The finish line is not determined by what's comfortable. It's determined by who refuses to stop. You have to commit to yourself in a way that doesn't depend on external validation. You have to trust the process even when the process doesn't seem fair. Because what feels like delay is often the universe aligning every piece, preparing you for a moment you can't even imagine yet. Think about it. How many times in your life have you looked back and realized that the moment that felt impossible was the very moment that changed everything? Maybe it was the project that almost failed, the opportunity that seemed lost, the relationship that tested you. But because you refused to give up, because you kept moving, you found yourself standing in a place you never thought possible. That's how life works. The breakthrough is always waiting on the other side of persistence. Persistence isn't about stubbornness without reason. It's about unwavering faith in your vision and trust in your own strength. It's about showing up when your mind says no, when your body says no, when your friends and family don't understand why you're still trying. Persistence is courage in action. It's the refusal to let fear, doubt, or delay define your future. You have to remember that quitting guarantees failure. It doesn't matter how talented you are, how smart you are, how much potential you have. If you quit, all the preparation, all the learning, all the growth, it stops there. But if you stay in the fight, if you push just a little longer, if you take one more step when every step feels impossible, you are already moving closer to the breakthrough than you were yesterday. Breakthrough doesn't always announce itself. It's not always dramatic or obvious. Sometimes it comes quietly as a subtle shift. Sometimes it comes suddenly as an explosive moment of clarity. But it only comes to those who refuse to quit. Those who keep showing up, keep believing, keep acting, even when the world says stop. That's why it's always closest when you feel like it's furthest away. The harder it gets, the more the breakthrough is near. So when you feel like you've done everything you can, when you're exhausted, when hope seems distant, that's exactly the moment to lean in. That's the moment to remind yourself why you started. That's the moment to push harder, to act bigger, to hold your vision with everything you've got. Because the difference between those who succeed and those who fail is often one more step, one more day, one more choice to refuse defeat. Your breakthrough is waiting. It's not in the past. It's not in some far-off dream. It's on the edge of persistence. And all you have to do is keep moving one step at a time, refusing to stop until you cross the threshold that has been waiting for you all along. Don't give up now.